Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 104 of the Xbox Hall of Gamers podcast. This week, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Keo.
Oh, hey, everyone.
And no other free letter person. Neo is away for business. So it's just going to be us two this week. We've got plenty to cover in terms of the Game Awards. I watched most of it during my workday. Some really nice reveals that I want to discuss. I guess just starting off, Keo, was there anything that really caught your interest today?
Well, so far I haven't really been able to get into a lot, but I'm glad to see that there's some really big announcements, and at least for not until 2025 for some of them, but
quite a few announcements of 2025, and then some that I was hoping that were going to get proper release dates, like Hellblade, for example, still with the old 2024.
Yeah, so I need to go through and actually have a look at some of these lists. I got about 30 minutes into the video, so I've been busy all day Christmas shopping, so driving for hours to find exclusive gear for the people that, we hold near and dear.
So if you're listening to us live right now, we are over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Xbox Hall of Gamers. Otherwise, we usually broadcast here every Friday, AEST at 6:30 p.m. or roughly, or 8:30 New Zealand time. We're going to essentially crack into it this week. I don't think there was any community questions. I think Isaac's taken a bit of a break. Unless
there's really just one you put in there, didn't it? So,
the only one I was really going to ask this week was 2023 has been like a phenomenal year for gaming. Mm-hmm. Do you expect the same trajectory next year? Like, do you think we're going to have as many banger hits that make these Game of the Year awards so hard to pick?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that absolutely nothing is going to stand out next year.
Wow. You heard it here first. No, I think we're getting back to the norm after COVID.
Yeah, no, it is all starting to look really good, actually. So we should have a good couple of years ahead of us, assuming everything goes, all right. So
hopefully we get some good ports too. There's hasn't been that many games that have come out this year that I've kind of been like, I wonder when it's going to hit Xbox. There was one during the showcase during the Game Awards today that I was like, Dave the Diver, I honestly think should come to Xbox.
It should do, and then they should bring that. I saw the little crossover thing that they were going to do with it. So I really need to go play Dredge.
Dredge is amazing.
So...
I love Dredge, but so that was the only one that like really stuck out to me. And then like Pizza Tower and that, which I think Pizza Tower was only on Steam and
that's coming to Xbox now, is it?
No, I'm just saying games that I wish would come to Xbox.
Okay. Yeah.
Because, like prior Game Awards, we had like Stray, and then that came to Game Pass this year. We got Rollerdrome last month, which I will talk about games I've been playing. I've loved Rollerdrome. It's so good. Just games like that usually indies stick out to me that I'm kind of like, can you just like bring them over here? But there hasn't been that much ones that were really missed out on this year that I can think of off the top of my head. But
yeah, I can't really think of anything. Like, outside of what you've mentioned, pretty much. Like Dave the Diver, I'd really like to check that out, but I have to actually boot up my Switch. So,
Same. My Switch just collects dust and all. I've got a few Switch games for the girls for Christmas, so you'll get some. We'll get some use.
The last one I got a hold of, and it's tragic, was Chocobo GP, the Final Fantasy themed one, and it was horrible for microtransactions.
The mobile game they got like converted into a
actually that one wasn't a mobile game. It was originally, I think, only ever on the Switch, but they just dogged it with microtransactions, and eventually they did a patch to it where it added the ability to just unlock everything in the game. They just give you a whole bunch of coins, and I think you would just go and unlock it and stuff. So, but it's got some truly tragic music. The main theme is sung, and it's horrible. I'd sing it for you right now, but I just can't remember what it is. So
I just made one realization.
Hmm.
Matt's gonna come. I didn't start recording.
You didn't start the recording. Oh my god.
All right.
All
right.
Okay.
Matt's pulling the audio from the Twitch this week.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Or you can just, hit record or whatever you want, I guess he's pulling it from the Twitch. Oh, well, fuck it.
Yeah. That's my bad. Okay, usually Matt organizes all the editing and all that kind of stuff, and this week is going to be a bit different, I guess. Anyway, so I'm going to go through the Game Awards stuff now and just give you a quick rundown of everything that was announced. I thought there was an absolute banger towards the start, especially the lead up.
This is where I'm going to get my surprises. No surprises from watching the video. I'm going to get it all from you today.
Heavily rumored at the start. We've got heavily rumored before this. There was a remake of Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
Yep.
And we got a release date of February 28, 2024 for Xbox Series X, PS5, and PC. Game looks gorgeous.
It does. It looks exactly the same. Yep. So it's not really a remake, but it looks
like a current gen title. Like it looks like they ported forward.
Yeah. At least. Yeah. It's one that's very deserving. Like I played this, what was it, 2 months ago, and I talked about it for like three episodes straight or something. I told everyone to go play it. It would be so much better now that everyone will be able to play it, and it looked good then. It really did. So the perspective allowed for the graphics to kind of look nice anyway. So yeah.
It was only ever local co-op, yeah.
Well, was it even co-op at all? Because you just had to use the 2 sticks. It was like a single player.
Oh, okay, yeah,
the
it was
stick and the right stick. Okay. They haven't done that, have they? They didn't add co-op to this thing, did they?
I don't think they've said anything. I was trying to think about it today because I think of like experiences like A Way Out, It Takes Two, where they do the split screen thing now on certain sections. So yeah, maybe it was just the one controller. It's one controller controlling both brothers with their own thumbstick, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
One, they had like the big brother on one and the little brother on the other.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Second one, we had a trailer for Pony Island 2 Panda Circus from Daniel Mullen Games, which is the creator of Inscription. This trailer was crazy. Like, I had no idea what was happening in this trailer. But I was very happy when Sungwon or Pro ZD showed up and looked like he was a boss fight in the game.
Okay. Who is that?
He's a voice actor / YouTuber.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay, cool. So a bit of a cameo there. Yeah. Okay, cool.
He's done... I'm trying to... He voiced some characters in the Borderlands series, I believe. Voice actor... I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Well, it makes sense because Borderlands 3 would have... it was all about, creators, podcasters or...
So, in terms of recent stuff, he was in God of War Ragnarok, is Rada Taska, also motion capture and writing assistance. He was in Neon White as Mikey. He was in Shadow Warrior 3 as Zilla, Lost Judgment, Boyfriend Dungeon, Scarlet Nexus, Genshin Impact. He's got quite a long list of voice actors.
Growing. Yeah.
Yeah, so just wasn't expecting him to show up in this trailer, like especially an indie trailer. That was particularly cool. So I'm very interested to see what this game actually is. The Steam, when I checked the Steam page today, it had like one of my favorite short descriptions. It's like, this game is definitely not about ponies, or it's just like, how do you come up with a title like Pony Island 2 Panda Circus?
Was this originally just on PlayStation?
No, like this does not have a first game, I believe.
Oh, okay. So this is a Goat Simulator 3 business, is it?
The trailer was suitably weird. It looks like the game will bounce between genres, graphical styles, and tone with abandon. Daniel Mullen's previous titles include The Hex, Inscription, and of course... Okay, there was an original Pony Island. Where I've never heard of this Pony Island game. I want to.
Yeah, we need a description because I have no idea. I saw this in the trailer, and I have no idea what it is either. So,
Alright. Pony Island is a video game developed by Daniel Mullins. It is a meta-fictional game where the player has where the game has the player interact with what appears to be an old arcade cabinet called Pony Island. The player soon discovers the game is corrupted by Lucifer himself, who is trying to claim the player's soul. The player is aided by the soul of the previous player, who helps the players access Pony Island's internal programming to get around the traps left by Lucifer and save not only his soul, but many tormented souls that are trapped within the game's code. Original release back in 2016.
Okay. Yeah, well, it makes sense. It makes sense if they used like a YouTube creator or something as some kind of meta.
Yeah.
As the boss instead of Lucifer, which is weird for a video game, kind of like if it's a video game about video games.
And it's got him like it's got Sung Won is like in a live action role, which was interesting. But yeah.
Oh, was that the live action person in the trailer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I have no idea.
Okay.
I clearly don't spend enough time on the internet.
I need to send you some of his videos. His videos are great. Anyway, we also got a trailer for the Rise of the Golden Idol coming to Xbox Series X and S, PS5, Nintendo Switch, PC, and Netflix. This is the latest in Netflix push into the games industry. It was a CGI trailer that showed off some conspiracy mystery vibes with clues on a notice board and red string everywhere. Classic detective. This looked interesting. There was also a trailer for Usual June, which is coming in 2025. This one didn't have any platforms confirmed, which was a supernatural style with like a very unique... I believe this one's coming from Finji. I believe...
yes, it is. I believe that's what I saw, yeah.
So it had that like that Nine in the Woods text, like dialogue kind of look to it. See, spooky ghost monsters, red string detective board makes it second experience of 2 trailers, and there'll be spooky goings on as well as hitting them with sticks. After that, we got a trailer for Ark Knights Enfield, which is only coming to PS5 and PC, so we won't talk about it.
Yeah, it does look good though.
It does look interesting. There was a few PlayStation stuff in this that I was kind of like, I wouldn't mind playing that. The next one was probably one of the trailers that caught me by surprise the most.
Yep, I was looking at this too.
Harmonium. As soon as I saw Harmonium the musical, I went and talked to Nikita about it because it immediately caught me. Had that kind of... So just to like briefly mention it, it was a adorable looking like Pixar kind of art style, like that
it was
cartoony kind of thing. Talking about a deaf girl who gets transported to a magical world for a book. This was like Disney musical vibes all the way. And like, it was heartfelt. It was everything you would expect from that kind of trailer. And I really want to play it.
So the basis for it is basically making it the most accessible game out there, like in existence, pretty much. It's like all the text on the screen, the character does sign language, all that kind of stuff. And so you've got the text on the screen, so visual, you've got auditory, the music, you've got the sign language in the game. The thing is, though, like all languages, there's, I don't know, hundreds or thousands, I have no idea with sign language, but in amongst like local sign language, there's variants of local sign language. So are they sticking to one particular style? That's because some people won't recognize sign language from another language. So even in English or variants like American, Australian.
Isn't there 2 main types of... There's ASL and... Is it BSL?
I'm not fully up to date with it. I really only know because of my wife teaches children.
Yeah. So, I had a coworker that had a deaf daughter or partially deaf daughter. I believe she was telling me that there's like 2 main... I don't know if this is just Australia though or elsewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, this game's art style looks amazing. I was definitely interested, and I want to see what they do with this game. After that, there was a trailer for Windblown, which is coming to PC early access, 2024. Yep. This is from the creators of Dead Cells. It looks like if Dead Cells had a baby with Castle Crashers. Multiplayer, isometric camera, fast-paced action, gorgeous art style. But yeah, nothing confirmed for Xbox. We also got a trailer for Thrasher coming 2024.
Thrasher, wait, I didn't see that. Is that the skateboarding Thrasher?
Thrasher is the one that is from the developers of Thumper.
Oh, okay. All right. I just remember Thrasher Skate and Destroy from back in the day, and I'm like, what the hell, Thrasher? But yeah.
So Thrasher was like, from what I could make of it, it looked like it was like a psychedelic, like follow the pattern kind of games on PC. I don't know how else to explain it. Rhythm violence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Right. That makes more sense.
Yeah. So artist and composer behind Thumper. But yeah, that one looked interesting. There was a trailer for Persona 3 Reload, which we know is coming to Game Pass on Feb 2. Not really anything new. There was some awards. We had Chris Judge get on the stage, who famously did the 8-minute speech last year. To which he got on the stage, was like, started talking like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't thank my mother from last year." 20 seconds in, starts playing the music.
Okay.
Yeah, like, well, obviously the meta joke, but yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
I don't know the name of the people who accepted the award for, I think it was accessibility for Forza Motorsport. There were two of them on the stage. I don't know their names, so I'm sorry about that. But one of them looked at the host and was like, "Can I actually talk?" It's like, "Can I make like a speech?" And I'm like, "Oh, well." How long is this going to go for? But yeah, it was a very sweet. So that was someone who came on and did a little speech before that one. Yeah.
I mean, so you didn't see the Chris Judge one at all?
No, I haven't been up to that.
He made a joke about. Well, I know it was like an 8-minute speech, and it was very long, but at least it was longer than Call of Duty's campaign this year.
Oh jeez. Oh no. I said I was going to play that over the last couple of weeks, but I never got to it. Yeah. This is basically alien territory now. So I got up to Persona 3 Reload basically.
Cool.
Yeah, so
the next one we had Matthew McConaughey get on stage. To which immediately it was like that level of cringe of like, the all right, and he was like, "Well, they told me I should replace all right with pew 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 instead," and it's like, mate, really? But yeah, he came out to announce that he's voicing a new game called Exodus, which, from what I watched of it, looked like a space fire kind of narrative. Oh, I don't know. It looked narrative mixed with military, like FPS.
Yeah, okay.
But essentially, from what I could understand of the premise, it was, what if you could like jump like between portals in space, but then time dilution happened. So he's they're getting hunted down like by an alien species. He makes the decision to jump, but then basically his partner, like, he never sees his partner again because he's essentially just jumped into the future. Yeah.
Space and time. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So itself a sci-fi game with alien. So Matthew mentions that time moves differently in the game for you than it does for others. Basically, he's doing Interstellar again. Exodus itself is a sci-fi game with aliens, big robots, spaceships, and combat. We've got a CGI trailer with some gameplay at the end. Your character travels at light speed, and time dilation means he loses everyone he knew and loved as days passed for him and years went by around him. It looks very pretty. It's coming to Xbox alongside PS5 and PC, but no release date was good. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. It's very Destiny meet Mass Effect, by the look of it. Like the gunplay looked very.
So it's first-person shooter.
Yeah, so the gunplay looked very Destiny-like. I guess without the verticality of like jumping and soaring with. Yeah. Like it looked more on the ground FPS. But with your like narrative beats of something like Mass Effect, like traveling to different planets and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. God of War Ragnarok got DLC announced for free, which is coming in 5 days.
What was that? Was that just New Game Plus or something? Or...
Valhalla roguelite mode.
Oh,
so yeah,
okay.
Roguelite mode, Valhalla. That's, I mean, free DLC. That's cool, but
always,
yeah,
always good.
Next thing got me really excited. So House, the Aussie studio behind Untitled Goose Game, announced their next big project, which is a game called Big Walk. Essentially, it's like a Australian landscape kind of setting with these very, I don't want to say basic and a bad thing, but like very like Pingu kind of looking characters. Like not stick figures, but like just characters formed like circles and simplistic shapes.
Okay.
Essentially, you're exploring the wilderness, but it's a cooperative walking game.
Open world?
I don't know if it's open worlds, but it looked like it was basically like landscape, like beautiful landscapes coming 2025. It looked very weird but interesting, and I was just like, if this is just you like walking together, it like I don't know about anybody else, but it kind of gave me like We Were Here Together, like We Were Here kind of vibes of you're walking in the same area, but you're doing a puzzle, but this seemed like on a much larger scale. Okay. But then there's nothing that, like, there was one thing that looked like a puzzle, but then I don't know if it's just you traveling together and making use of this environment or what they're setting out to do. Like, I do want to keep my eyes on it because it does look interesting, but I have no idea what this game is, and that's why I'm so excited for it. Especially from Aussie devs too. I always want to support Aussies.
Okay. Yeah, I need to put a tick next to that then and have a look.
It's definitely one of those trailers you'll watch and you'll be like, this is really weird, but I love this. Like, it has this kind of cute charm to it.
Yeah, I mean,
but Aussie voice acting
Goose Game was so good and so creative. Yeah. So I can imagine something good had come from it.
Untitled Goose Game was like, what, 2018, 2019 now? It's been a few years.
Oh, man.
I feel like it's been quite a few years, but
well, I mean, it didn't even come straight to Xbox, did it? So it started and then moved over to Xbox after. I think?
It was like a year after.
Yeah,
I think. Anyway.
Yeah. So it's even longer, really. So.
All right, then we've got the trailer for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which no new.
This is the side-scrolling one, isn't it?
I believe so.
Or did they announce something new? Okay. Right.
Yeah, I believe this was. I'd stepped away to talk about Big Walk for a second because I thought it was cool.
you were just giggling and excited. And
I'm just like, all right, I've seen this before. I can go and talk. Then we got Lego Fortnite. Got an official trailer reveal, which is the new survival game mode.
Okay.
This one's pretty much for the for the Fortnite players. After that, we got Hellblade 2 live performance and the gameplay trailer. This gameplay trailer looked fucking amazing. I am so keen for this game, but I am very disappointed that we didn't get a confirmed release date other than
no date. Okay, right, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, the last time we saw this was what was it? The Unreal Tournament? No, not Unreal Tournament. The Unreal Engine 5 showcase with the mouth, mobile capture.
I don't know. They've been showing it every.
Yeah, because they were showing off the tech where they wanted to show how the capture meets up with the in-game.
Did they show it at Game Awards last year? I don't think they did. I think it was the year prior.
Yeah, well, it would have been maybe about a year and a half or so because that Unreal Engine 5 thing it hasn't been more than 2 years for that. So I think it was about a year and a half that they were really showing off some of that stuff. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but the last thing I remember is the voice performance that they did, and then that immediately went through to the game.
Yeah.
So it does look amazing, and it's just they can't wait till that one comes out, and it's going to look so good. So just want more real life, like realistic cinematic performances from people. That would be good.
Man, I'm very excited for it. The next one was Akumi Nakamura. I'm not sure if I'm butchering this name. Akumi Nakamura, which is from Evil Within, Ghostwire Tokyo. She came out to announce her new game called Kamiri, which gave a like very strong Spider-Verse. But like I don't know what else to compare it to other than Spider-Verse. Yeah, essentially, she's formed a new studio. This is the first time showing it off. It looks a little bit early, so I'm keen to see what happens in the future with it. After that, we got a trailer for No Rest for the Wicked, which is the newest release from Moon Studios, famous for Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
Okay. Who did they do this with? Because they stopped partnering with Microsoft, didn't they? After Will of the Wisp?
Well, they partnered with them to get the original funding. I think this funding was fine by itself.
Yeah, there was some sketchy stuff happening at the studio or whatever. And
Yeah,
they started to step away.
There was claims of like bullying, harassment, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I believe. But essentially, this game looks like, you take that. Like Ori has a very like beautiful watercolor art style. This was a gorgeous version of something like. I'm trying to think what the game's name is. It Bard's Tale? I might be thinking of the wrong
Bard's
game.
Tale. I never played the Bard's Tale stuff, so.
But yeah, it essentially looks like a gorgeous RPG. Their art team is just amazing. But yeah, coming to Xbox and PS5, very different to like the Ori feel, but like action RPG. I'm very excited to see what they do with it, and I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping it comes to Game Pass, something like that. But we got more info coming in March. We got an Accolades trailer for Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, which I'm excited to check out later this week. That is dropping into Ubisoft Plus, I believe.
Which you still have, do you?
Or
did you subscribe?
I cancelled my subscription. So I did Mirage, and then I did... I did Motorfest, and then I did Mirage. And then I'm probably going to wait a little bit and then do Avatar, and then do Prince of Persia when it releases next month as well. So I'll try and get the month to cover them both.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Then we got Gonzo, which was basically gushing about how he's such a big Zelda fan. Then, probably one of my favorite announcements of the whole show, Sega said they had something big. Yeah? And there's been rumors for a while of Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi remasters. Well, that's not all they had in their Christmas bag.
So they had a bunch of stuff.
So we're not getting 1, 2, 3, 4. We're getting 5 remasters.
Okay.
So we're getting Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, and Shinobi.
All of the original games.
Yeah, all like Sega just went. People like our classic games. Maybe we should do something about this.
Well, I mean, the Capcom collection's been doing so well, so it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm very like the trailer they showed for this was pretty funny. But like, yeah, I'm so excited with some of the remastered stuff that they showed off.
Yeah, I would really love for them to get the PS2 Shinobi game back on board. That game is so good if you've never played it. I played that just obsessively. So
so I'm very so Nikita walked into my office when this one was playing, and she was very excited because she's very much a retro gamer. And then immediately after, one of her favorite animes being Dragon Ball, we got a trailer for the new Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Okay.
I need to... She keeps on saying Sparkling, but it's Sparking Zero, and it's a new...
When I saw it, I saw Sparkling as well, so...
Is it Budokai?
I actually have no idea about Dragon Ball. Okay. Believe it or not, I never have... Well, I've only ever seen the show once or twice when my little brother was watching it when I was young. So, and yeah, I'm completely... Like, what have I done? So, I think See, I don't even think I've played any of the games. I have the Budokai HD collection, the
Yeah.
Tenaiki 360 one, just because it's difficult to get and you just grab it when
You
you
just
see
grab it and
these
then it
things.
shits on a shelf and I
So,
was be like,
but
for any J game.
I actually don't even have any other like of the Dragon Ball stuff at all. So I actually don't know. I just know the memes.
You know what?
So
I think I've got all of them, but I've just never played them.
mm,
Like, I wanted, I saw Kakarot, and then Nikita was just like, it's not that good. So I
yeah.
just never started it, and I
I
probably
mean,
should dive into them.
it makes sense with this something like Dragon Ball where they cover the stories so much that like if you were going to play one medium, so if you existed in a world where you could only play one medium, but the same thing existed across multiple mediums, you could choose either the video games or the anime. I would rather sit down and play the whole story through the video games than actually watch the anime. And I'd be more than happy to do that. And I've just never gotten myself close enough to Dragon Ball to actually experience it. So
It's a much more interactive form of media.
mm,
So yeah, I like I
mm.
definitely agree with that. Yeah, I don't know. Let me like wanting to play a Dragon Ball game, so I
Okay.
might.
So what's the appeal of this one? What are they doing with it?
Oh, just like typical big
Is
fight
it
kind of.
just covering the show again? Like, or is it new
I
story
think
or
so. I don't know. Like I originally watched I guess the first Dragon Ball Z series back when I was a kid. But I've seen some super episodes and that come up that look very interesting. But I don't have the patience to sit down and watch a whole anime like unless I'm like really invested. Maybe
right?
one day. Maybe it is covering the show. I don't know. It might just be one of those kind of like third party stories where they adopt something that's not like it's not canon kind of situation. The next one was really interesting. I had no idea what I was watching. So they had a thing called the Casting of Frank Stone, which is a cinematic horror experience set in the Dead by Daylight universe. I don't know if this is a character or if this is
Okay.
yeah.
I like the look of Dead by Daylight, but I've never actually gone into it. And
Yeah, I've only
like
briefly played it.
considering how much multiplayer stuff I actually play, and I like horror a lot. Even
Well,
though I also don't play a lot of horror games, which is weird, but just cinematically, I normally gel with the cinema universe of horror. You'd think I'd play this that has all of those worlds in it, right? So,
well, this was like
but,
CGI trailer. Apparently, lots of recognizable Dead by Daylight stuff. There was hooks, groups of survivors, stabby arms.
okay,
It's being developed by Supermassive.
okay.
And it's also coming to Xbox. In terms of like if you gave me like a single player Dead by Daylight experience, I'm like not Dead by Daylight experience in terms of the game, but like in the kind of the atmosphere, serial killer, that kind of stuff. I'm interested. I will probably pick this up just to see what this is, because those kind of like horror games are like very interesting. After that, we had a trailer shown off for Visions of Mana, which is a returning series, but that's also coming in 2024. Which
Wait, the Square Enix stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't normally get them on Xbox.
Yeah, I think Shane immediately went to like, oh, we haven't got the previous one. Like, give us the previous one first.
No, it's the same thing I was saying about what was it? We're gonna end up with Final Fantasy VII Part 2 remake reunion and not get the first one. So,
then we got a trailer for Rise of the Ronin, which was another exclusive Sony one, developed by Team Ninja. This gave off like very strong Wolong vibes.
Yeah, we've seen this one before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's coming in March. So it's pretty interesting. There's the Outlast Trials trailer, which, yeah, I mean it's alright. Like it's multiplayer Dead by Daylight kind of style game. That's coming March to PS5, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One apparently.
Okay. Yeah.
And then then we get to the holy shit moment of the show. Yeah.
All right.
So
spoil the shit out of me here. All
right.
What do you got? So
Kojima.
Okay.
Hideo Kojima came out on stage. Which, if anybody's in the Discord, check silly stuff because I think it was Matt put a wonderful picture of like, yeah, are you trying to accept an award? Yep, 2 seconds. If you're a Hideo Kojima, yeah, have all the time in the world. Just keep on talking. But yeah, basically, we got a really weird trailer for a game called OD, which I believe the game was originally called Overdose.
Oh, right.
Like
yes,
was,
of course. Yeah.
So this trailer was very weird. It was a few different, like, very realistic actors, disembodied heads talking about purple dinosaurs. So they like, it started off like very like, you know, when you're like doing lines like she sells seashells by the seashore kind of stuff, yeah.
Okay.
And then it kind of just descended into like more disturbing and creepy.
Okay.
So yeah, Kojima basically shared a little bit about the game, saying how it was going to be groundbreaking. So talked about like gaming as a form of media, how this would be something like, I don't think he used revolutionary, but like this would be a next step in media. It's going to use cloud gaming tech.
Yep, we knew that already.
It's a game, it's a movie, it's both.
Okay.
Which is interesting to me because I'm just going to sidetrack for a moment. I love FMV, like cleverly inserted into games. If this is like an FMV gaming experience kind of thing, that's not like, I'm not talking Wales Interactive, that kind of stuff, but like just something a little bit more meaty and juicy, I'm going to love this. It looked creepy enough. But then that wasn't it. We looked back at the door and Jordan Peele walked out. Jordan Peele is working with Kojima on this game.
All right. Is this a Blumhouse presentation?
I don't think so, but like I mean, just having somebody like Jordan Peele as well.
Yeah, I did see at least that Jordan Peele was sitting with Kojima. Yeah, so that is very, very good.
That is a very good collab, and I'm very interested to see what OD is. Obviously, funded by Xbox. Hopefully, Game Pass title. I would very much imagine, but yeah.
Well, I was listening to another podcast. I can't remember which one it was. But they were saying that like the developers of Remedy is getting very, very close to Kojima territory with their storytelling. So if we're getting horror stories from Remedy, like with Alan Wake 2, and then this stuff from Kojima, we could have something really like special here.
I think horror is like really having I don't want to say like renaissance kind of thing, but like horror is like really made some strides this year. You got games like Dead Space getting remaster. You've got I mean there's certainly like a market for these kind of titles, it feels like, and I'm trying to think, like Alan Wake 2 I would say very much borderlines like horror and thriller. So yeah, it's interesting because I feel like Xbox One generation, they were so trying to go to like the you know, Quantum Break, that kind of level of interactivity, and then have the TV shows and that kind of stuff. And now,
so this is Xbox doing TV again, right? I see.
I don't know if this is Xbox doing TV again, but I feel like the tech's there to make some big steps forward. But yeah, I'm very excited for that one. We then got a Jurassic Park survival game. First person survival game on Island. I've never watched Jurassic Park.
Oh, come on. Right, so we just got a release of some classic Jurassic Park games. I think it's due for us to do a little lights, camera, and action on Jurassic Park. There's been enough Jurassic Park games where we can nearly justify doing one of those. You got to watch it. So
all right, then we got Rocket League crossover event coming to Fortnite, which is a Fortnite racing game event with Rocket League cars.
Okay. All right, so we've got Lego and we've got Rocket League now. Cool.
Fortnite is going to be every game at some point. The event horizon from which content can't escape. But yeah, it looks neat. And actually, it was like, oh yeah, this looks amazing. And then it was like they did it. They made Rocket League Racing. And then it was like Fortnite. I'm like, You were so
Well,
close. You were
yeah.
so close.
We already kind of knew that this crossover event was coming because of the change of Rocket League where they were taking out sharing. So,
Yeah.
mm.
I know. I would love this as a standalone game. I feel like Rocket League just I want a Rocket League sequel of some type. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Think of a Rocket League racing game though with that level of mobility.
Okay, so
Like
you're talking like an actual like what are you talking Micro Machines or are you talking Wipeout?
yeah, I'm thinking like more Micro Machines.
Because a Wipeout Rocket League game I could dig something nice and
Yeah.
fast. You've got your power ups, all that kind of
Like
business.
make it very
So
arcadey. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. We need more Rocket League stuff. Anyway, we got Black Myth Wukong, which I didn't really pay that much attention to. We then got Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League with
yep.
which I don't know. I hope it's going to be a good game, but I don't think it's going to be a good game. I think
have they managed to take the live service stuff out of this yet, or what?
I don't know.
I don't
That's
know.
the question. I don't know. I'll wait for some other people to give some reviews, and then we'll. I know this might be like a bargain bin kind of. I'll pick it up when it's cheap, and we'll get a few friends together. Kind of.
It'll
thing.
just have the same trajectory as Gotham Knights by the sounds of it. So yeah.
We then Warframe was getting a new update, which comes live on the 13th of December.
Okay. Yep.
I don't know if this is getting new achievements or anything.
Say anything about that?
Just whisper. I was like, this game looks a lot like Warframe. And I was like, wait, this game is Warframe.
It is Warframe. Yeah, they have... I mean, they haven't added achievements to it for a while, I don't think. Have they?
Yeah, I think it was a few years ago that they...
Yeah, so I very much doubt... Like, I think it's like Destiny where the achievements in Destiny 2 stopped at Forsaken. It was like the first expansion. Yeah. And there was nothing after that, so... yeah.
After that, we got a Starfield Accolades trailer.
Okay. Yep.
After that, we got a trailer for Banish's Ghost of New Eden, which is coming 13th of Feb 2024, which is it was a cool trailer from Don't Nod, Pirate, Spooky Goings On, and a bit of Shadow of the Colossus. Kind of.
Okay.
No, Don't Nod has been like pumping out games. Because you've got just Silent, you had Harmony coming out earlier the year, you've got Banishers. There was another one that was shown off, I believe. Yeah, I'll few comments away. We got a Ready or Not trailer, which is pretty vague. If I'm remembering correctly, Ready or Not was the one from the guys who did Payday.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Denzel Wolf, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, there's two that kind of like have a similar vibe. There was Tales of Kensia, revealed to be coming April 23rd, 2024, which is a new EA original. It's a 2D side. Like, this gave off a mystical kind of Prince of Persia side scroller.
They had something in the works that they said that they hadn't talked about yet, didn't they? And this is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it gave off like very strong Prince of Persia vibes, but like with the very colorful kind of, magic kind of feel to it. It's coming to Xbox and other platforms. The next one really caught my eye, which was Lost Records Bloom and Rage, which is the next game coming from Life is Strange. Supernatural elements, kind of like Stranger Things. It was just a CGI trailer, but it definitely had that Life is Strange vibe to it.
Okay.
But yeah, that was interesting. Then there was the first Berserker Kanzan, which is cartoony art style with a serious cartoon where everything is grim. Action game, but yeah, like combat on the God of War spectrum, but no release date given. Then good news for you, Final Fantasy is coming to Apex Legends.
Oh, I'm done with Apex Legends. I don't need that shit. Maybe I'll have to log in and just actually have a look and see what they've got.
Yeah.
So like at the moment, there's some crossover stuff going on with Final Fantasy 14 where they've dragged all the Fall Guys stuff into Final Fantasy 14. I never did it when it went into Fall Guys.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do this stuff that's come into Final Fantasy 14. But the crossover stuff is good, but if I'm done with the game, I don't know. I don't know. It has to be like classic Final Fantasy characters or something for me to actually go in and just unlock the stuff. But yeah. But if it's paid stuff, then I mean, it's good that Final Fantasy's getting this level of crossover. I think there hasn't really been enough of it lately. Like they normally always put crossover stuff in Final Fantasy 14. They had Near Automata. There's a raid for that. They put Rathalos from Monster Hunter World as I think there was an actual dungeon with Rathalos at the end, and then you could actually get that as a mount, which is really cool, and that's still there. It never went away, all that kind of stuff. So so Final Fantasy can really get some legs again now. That would be really good. Yeah. So yeah.
We also got a release date for Skull and Bones, which is coming February 16th apparently.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, unless it gets delayed again. Closed beta coming December. Registration's open now. I don't know. I might pick this up only because of Ubisoft Plus. Like, I wouldn't go out and purchase these games day one, but I will gladly pay for a month's subscription just to give them a try.
Okay.
After that, we got Arcane Lion's next game, which is Marvel's Blade. It wasn't... Okay, so it was just... Yeah.
Arcane? Are you saying that Bethesda's making a vampire game?
But this is not... Which is the Arcane that isn't Red...
No, it's
the other Arcane.
It is the other one. I don't actually know, but now they'll both have a vampire game. So let's see how this goes.
I'm excited for this. So this is the team behind.
I can never remember the name of the Arcane Studios because I haven't really played a lot of their games, right? Yeah.
Okay, so this is interesting, because I was like this, I was very confident that we were getting Dishonored 3 in terms of a trailer.
Oh yes, yeah.
I was like 100%. They've leaked it. The stuff leaked. We're gonna get a Dishonored trailer sometime soon.
Yeah, Arcane Austin did Redfall. Arcane Lion is the
Dishonored and Deathloop.
Yeah.
So this was just a CGI trailer, but it was a CGI trailer for Blade, which looks like it's going to be a third-person action adventure.
Yep.
I imagine it's going to be like very early in development, but very, very cool.
But as long as it's got Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds, it'll be fine.
Yeah. The great thing too is, like, if this is Bethesda, then it's first party, which means it's an Xbox exclusive. So it'd be nice to get some Xbox exclusives in the superhero genre, because, like, I love Insomniac's work. I would love Spider-Man. I'm very interested to see what they do with Wolverine, but unfortunately we don't have that.
Yeah. So we don't know what kind of game this is yet, do we? Like, it's not a shooter, or it's like because they do shooters.
Third-person action adventure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Or at least that's what the vibe is. So I'm very interested to see what they do with that, but I imagine this is going to be like 2025, 2026.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're getting Indiana Jones and we're getting Blade. So it looks like if they do get these little Marvel things, maybe we're going to get some of the darker Marvel stories or something like that. Give me
like Moon Knight or something. That'd be cool.
I knew nothing about Moonlight before the TV series. Hell, I know it was in the first Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but I never even watched that TV series, so I wouldn't even know. Isn't he just isn't it like Deadpool vibes anyway? Kind of with that character.
I haven't read the comics I've seen like a bits and pieces, but then nothing's like popping in memory. I don't think it's more about the split personality aspect of it, whereas in Deadpool just breaks the 4-4. Which I guess begs to differ. Why isn't anybody doing a new Deadpool game?
Well, do they even still have hold of that at all?
Yeah, I don't know.
They've delisted everything. I don't know if they still have access to Deadpool. They could totally do another exclusive Deadpool game.
That's the problem with these kind of games too. Like, okay, um, this is going to be like a conversation that's probably going to pop up like a few years from now. But having these Marvel licenses and that obviously puts a timer on them, essentially, yeah, for the listing. Is
Effectively,
is it like this is going to be a first party title because it is being developed by a Bethesda studio. So then you would assume it would be in Game Pass. But then if it is in Game Pass and that, does it become like one of the first party titles that does have a timer that eventually ends and gets delisted and gets removed?
See, look, that's one of the things that video games hasn't really
sorted out,
worked out yet, because they haven't got contracts that work in perpetuity with, with these kind of licenses,
with other forms of media, essentially.
So, like, effectively, and I'm no lawyer or anything like that, but there's yet apparently. Let's see how that goes. So, like, with these licenses, they just need to have like beginning and end. It starts with this game, it ends with this game, but it's in perpetuity. It's like you have the rights for blah blah blah, and then it just stays active. Always. It's like, even if it's just like, I don't know, like our copyright stuff is like 77 years or something like that. So we just have like and then by that point, it's all redundant. It doesn't matter. And, imagine video games these days ending up having like, because what is it? It's like, it is either 77 or like 107 or something like that. Imagine all of like the current stuff going free access. What's the word for it when you have, it's like all of the old books, like Liza P with Pinocchio and stuff like that, where it's just public access. Imagine video games going public access. Yeah, in public domain. That would be very, very interesting with some of that dead stuff. So
Disney was trying to fight the Winnie the Pooh stuff, yeah? Or the Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse. Because the interesting stuff with the Winnie the Pooh is obviously it ended, and then they've got that movie. I don't know if it's already released, but there was like a horror movie, Winnie the Pooh.
Yep, there was. It has been released. I think it's still, you have to pay for it to view it or something on streaming services.
And then there's Winnie's Hole, which is the one from the devs of Ring of Pain. That's also coming up too, which looks like... I don't know how to explain that game. It's so weird. But they showed that off at like the... Kind of Funny did a video like talking about like showcases and that. And did their own trailer reveal for it. Anyway... Moving on from Blade, we got Twisted Metal is actually getting a season 2. Anthony Mackie came out on stage and announced that, as well as presenting an award. Then we got a trailer for Last Sentinel, which is a debut game from Lightspeed LA. CGI trailer showed off robot cops smashing their way through a century before. Like, it's very much like Terminator in the future kind of vibes.
Yeah, that looks like a very good game. I think I've seen something about this before. It's supposed to look really good.
Looked very interesting. I hope it comes to Xbox. I don't think they said any platforms. First Ascended got a trailer and a summer 2024 release date, which I'm pretty excited for based off everybody's feedback about the betas. We then got a trailer for a game called Zenless Zone Zero. We then got a trailer for Mecha Break, which is a fast-paced multiplayer mech combat game, which is also coming to Xbox and PS5 with a closed alpha soon.
Okay.
We then got a trailer for Helldivers 2, which is coming Feb 8th, 2024, which is another
Sony one. Yep.
We then got a trailer for Space Marine 2, coming September 9th, 2024. But yeah, more Warhammer stuff. Then Old Gods of Asgard performed Herald of Darkness live, which is absolutely phenomenal. I would love to be at a showcase like that just to
watch that. Oh, right. Yeah. So they did the Alan Wake stuff, didn't they?
That is like the best musical performance from Alan Wake 2. And they got like both the actors out so they could have. So there's the one actor for Alan Wake that does the voice acting, and then there's the one with the likeness. So the likeness one was doing the dancing in that, while the voice of Alan Wake was essentially doing, like, the singing aspect of it. It's cool.
Oh, okay.
GTFO, which I've never heard of before.
I don't know that either.
Yeah. Apparently it was a cooperative horror shooter that was announced at 2017 Games Award. Came out and just basically said that they had more. They will have more to announce.
Mm-hmm.
Den of Wolves, I believe, was the one. Is 10 Chambers Payday? What
I never
10
played
Chambers?
Payday. I just don't know. Well, let's look it up. Let's do a little podcast sleuthing. 10 Chambers Studio.
Payday co-creators new cyberpunk heist game. There you go.
All right. Cyberpunk heist game.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of those do we need? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Heist
It looked interesting, but it was mostly just a CGI trailer. From memory, there was a trailer for a game called Exoborn, which is a sci-fi extraction shooter. It's coming to Xbox, PS5, and PC, but yeah, just
Exoborn.
CGI trailer.
Who did that? Who made that? Let's just have a look. Exoborn. Yeah. Okay. Because they're like, I don't know. Who's the developer for that? Because
let me find out.
Shark Mob. Shark Mob AB.
Yeah. And
Level Infinite. Yeah.
Gear Up, Get In, and Get Out, and Exoborn, a tactical open world extraction shooter set in an apocalyptic US, transformed by extreme forces of nature. Lay it all on the line and explore a dynamic world full of warring factions, hostile players, where you scavenge, craft, and fight to stay alive.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks interesting. I'm
looking at the Steam trailer for it at the moment. It's actually the first thing I thought when I saw it was Time Shift, like in terms of how it looks and how everything's kind of laid out. But I don't know. Yeah, no, it looks good. It does look good. So
there was then a MetaQuest only game, so no stress. We then got like a little bit more look at the Fallout TV series trailer, which looks amazing.
Yeah, I took a brief look at the trailer, but yeah, it does look very Fallout 3, that thing. So
there's a trailer for Palia, which I've got a few friends playing on Steam. Love it.
I've downloaded it. I haven't tried it.
It's only coming to Switch at the moment.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky developers announced their next game, which is called Light No Fire. When the guy did the spiel for this year, it basically went like, all right, 10 years ago we announced No Man's Sky, and it kind of like made all these promises that weren't kept. So they're out here talking about something much more ambitious than No Man's Sky, which is an open world game that is truly open world. A whole planet can be freely explored.
Yep.
It's a multiplayer fantasy game that looks a damn sight prettier than you expect from a procedurally generated world. We see our character flying and dragging across the landscape, weather effects, different biomes, and races, giant monsters, wildlife. Looks cool, and hopefully they learn from the lessons from No Man's Sky.
Okay, so procedurally generated, but all on one world.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to look into it a little bit more. We then got an announcement for not one but two Final Fantasy 16 DLCs.
Yes, this is the thing that was all over my feed. I've not finished Final Fantasy 16 yet, but yeah, the Echoes of the Fallen, I believe, is out now.
Yeah, and then Rising Tide is out soon.
Yep.
Alan Wake 2, which won a few awards, did their announcement speech, and basically they snuck into the announcement speech. Oh, by the way, New Game Plus is out next week.
So they're going down the Sony route, because every single Sony first-party game, they release the game, and then they do New Game Plus later for retention.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right.
Then we got the finals, which is a surprise drop on Xbox, which I'm going to play after this.
Yep. Nice.
And then Monster Hunter's World revealed coming in 2025.
Was. Yeah.
Yeah. Xbox confirmation alongside PS5 and PC. Yeah, looked very like dirt kind of. Yeah.
Well, this is going to be really interesting.
I'm not big on Monster Hunter personally.
Because the Monster Hunter World was a mid Xbox One era game, and the Rise was a port from the Switch. So if this is a full like new gen release, it's going to look and play pretty damn good. So yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to quickly just breeze through the winners of each category. All right, so innovation and accessibility, we had Forza Motorsport. A lot of these are very predictable. Best esports athlete, Faker. I don't really care about it. Actually, I'm just going to skip the esports stuff except for the game, which was Valorant. Best performance, Neil Newborn, Baldur's Gate 3. I think he really deserved it. Hearing that apparently he was like giving up on acting or something before Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm definitely glad that he got his recognition. Best narrative, Alan Wake 2. Best debut indie game, Cocoon, which I'm happy with. Best action game was Armored Core 6, which I'm kind of I need to play it then. I'm
sure Matt would have some different stories to tell on that. So it's Armored Core, like it did basically what Dante the Devil May Cry series did with like S ranks and all kinds of stuff in the missions. So I know a lot of other games have done that since, but like a lot of replayability. So
we had best art direction, Alan Wake 2, easy. Best VR, Resident Evil Village VR.
Yes.
Best mobile, Honkai Star Rail. Best audio, Hi-Fi Rush. Games for Impact, Tashia. I honestly think Space of the Unbound deserved it, but that's just me. Score music, Final Fantasy 16. Best indie game was Sea of Stars, which I wasn't expecting, but I was like, you know what?
Give something to Sea of Stars. It needs it. Yeah, 100%.
Best community support was Baldur's Gate 3. Best fighting game was Street Fighter 6. No question there. Most anticipated game was Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Best ongoing game was Cyberpunk 2077. I feel weird about best ongoing game getting like Cyberpunk getting an award, seeing the state that it launched in.
Well, okay, cool. So two things. Best community support implies an ongoing game and the support from the community of the game. Baldur's Gate 3 isn't like a live online game or anything like that requires... So, like, if we're talking best community support, isn't that just everybody loved it this year? And not the community? Like, were the community... Are they ongoing getting behind Baldur's Gate 3? Like, you know what I mean?
Let me see if they got a description what they...
Yeah.
Why?
Because that doesn't make sense. Because like, I'm glad Destiny 2 didn't get it because of everything that's been going on with that one. But
I can't say it, but I imagine it's just a like best ongoing support from like taking care of the community, communication, that kind of stuff.
And then as you said, best ongoing game with Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
Just because they're fixing a game doesn't mean it's ongoing.
I mean, it's good that the DLC is like after the announcement of like the 2.1 patch, I'm very curious to go back to it and try it and see how much of a full game it is.
I need to play that. It was basically a Christmas present from last year, and I didn't get to it this year. So,
best adaptation was The Last of Us. Yep. Best action adventure was The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Best RPG, Baldur's Gate 3, no question. Best sim and strategy, Pikmin 4. Okay. Best multiplayer, Baldur's Gate 3. Player's Voice Award, Baldur's Gate 3. Best game direction, Alan Wake 2. I'm quite happy with how this ended up. Like, Alan Wake 2 got quite a few awards. And then, Baldur's Gate, Game of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously deserving it. I'm not really, like, into the dice rolling mentality of things, I guess.
I'm not either.
Really something that I mean, all games have random chance elements these days, but I don't really, I guess, gel with the I mean, there's a perceived notion of randomness and there's actual randomness. It's like, do I really want to know that? Like, like, like the odds and chances of something being rolled, or do I just want to fish around for like 50 hours trying to find one weapon in Division 2 or something? I don't know. I don't know.
I know.
But yeah.
I'm curious to try it out, but like at the
Hmm.
same time, it's like it's a big time investment. It's not an achievement
Yeah,
hunting friendly game.
I've never played any Larian stuff yet, so I'd be interested to go back. I think I have a couple from Games with Gold, at least one.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is a co-op experience, so I am very interested. It can be a co-op experience, I should say.
Yeah. Are there any other games on that you think just aren't deserving of an award?
That aren't deserving of an award.
Because you kind of mentioned that, a couple that you wish kind of like best racing game, Forza Motorsport. It's not really a game. The tech behind it is great, and plays really well, but it's not a game. It's a platform.
I mean, I'm
Apparently.
fine. I'm fine with Forza Motorsport getting that.
Yeah.
There wasn't Games for Impact was the only one that I was like, nah, Space for Unbound, but I haven't played Sheer, so I can't really make comment.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. Yeah.
Best fighting game, if somebody was telling me like Mortal Kombat 1, but I'm like, Mortal Kombat 1's apparently support is really like it hasn't launched the best. Which
No.
we had a discussion on the podcast a few weeks back.
A couple of weeks ago about the Switch version of the game.
I'm quite happy with where most of this stuff. The only two categories that are kind of like iffy to me were the action game, because I haven't played Armored Core yet, so my opinion might change on that.
Okay.
And then essentially the what was the other one? The Games for Impact. Everything else, I was like, yeah, that was.
Okay.
This was a very I wasn't sure whether Cocoon or Dredge would win, but I think Cocoon, in terms of its puzzle elements and all that, is definitely outstanding of an award.
Yeah. Okay.
I personally would have loved Dredge, but I mean, I can settle with that. I think everything else on this list, I don't care about the esports stuff. I'm not gonna hype on that kind of stuff too much.
Yep.
But yeah.
It's good that Valorant is on there, actually. So
I'm glad. Okay, look at it this way. Yeah, I'm glad that Baldur's Gate got recognized for the outstanding title that it is. It cleaned house.
Mm-hmm.
I am glad that Alan Wake 2 got the two categories that I believe it is the best at, which was game direction and art direction, because the atmosphere of that game is fucking incredible. Then there's a few games that I'm like planning to get around to eventually, like Sim Strategy, Pikmin 4. I hear really good things about Pikmin. I love Pikmin. Like, Pikmin's one of those series that I will play this. I will just wait to get a somewhat decent sale. Is there anything else that you were...
No, not really. No. It's a pretty good looking list overall. Like, as salty as we get on, the Game Awards not being, as entirely legit. Like, it's across the board, the games, like, there's a good spread. And, there weren't too many games that got more than one award, I guess. But
I was pretty I think Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2 are definitely deserving of multiple categories.
It was definitely the ongoing game in the community support that really lit my fire, I guess you could say. But
no, fair enough. I'm gonna I just put longer stories of OD and Sega, but not really much to say there. GTA 6 trailer came out this week, and it became the most liked gaming post, and I believe most viewed video in less than 24 hours on YouTube, which is just absolutely crazy. So I guess, look, everybody is going to be aware of this story, but if any case that you lived under a rock, essentially...
Yeah. I mean, they had me when they had, that chick twerking on the top of the car.
Okay, yeah.
I was all over it, so...
I guess, essentially... What happened this week was the day prior, a leaked video came out with I think BTC is Bitcoin, yeah? So there was a leaked video coming out that came up a day before the actual release date. With the whole trailer, which apparently spiked Bitcoin as well.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Right.
interesting. Anyway, so I don't know if this exact leak was from the dad. My dad works at Rockstar because there was a case of a kid posted footage. So there was that. But yeah, this game did records. It received 1.8 million likes in 24 hours on a post. And then I believe it broke the most recent Mr. Beast we survived in the middle ocean, I think was the...
I have no idea what that is. I barely know what Mr. Beast is. Okay. Except he's on chocolate bars at the service stations right now. So
he does charity work. I like his videos. So, anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically this game looks as if it's going to be like a Bonnie and Clyde kind of situation in the modern era. I don't want to say hyped. Hyped is not the right word, but I will definitely play this game.
Yeah. It's hard to say exactly what they're going to do with online, obviously, but it's just like there is no reason to not really check this one out. So
the only thing controversial about this whole thing was the fact that they're not doing PC at launch.
They're doing at launch.
They're doing Xbox Series X.
Okay.
I'm guessing S and X, PS5 at 2025, but they did not have a launch date for PC. And I'm wondering if it's a similar case of like GTA 5, where it's just like, hey, we'll make you buy a console and all that after, but then you can repurchase the game for your PC when it's out in 2027 or whenever it does release.
Yeah, well, Baldur's Gate already proved that, so it's an approved strategy apparently. So, yeah.
All right. Moving along from that, we had Phil Spencer acknowledged fan demand for new Banjo-Kazooie game. So speaking to Windows Central, Phil Spencer discussed the possibility of reviving classic games, specifically mentioning Banjo-Kazooie. We've seen from our history that we haven't touched every franchise that people would love us to touch. Banjo fans, I hear you. But it is true that when we find the right team and the right opportunity, I love going back to revisit stories and characters that we've seen previously. So yeah, we haven't seen an installment since Nuts and Bolts back in about 15 years ago.
Oh, a long time ago, yeah.
But we've seen the use of the character on like Smash Brothers Ultimate recently, like on the Nintendo Switch. Just nothing really on the Xbox console.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I know we had stuff like Ukulele and stuff like that, and that brings back massive nostalgia vibes, right? But I would much rather see another Conker's Bad Fur Day than another Banjo. I don't care. Like Banjo's basically done.
I want both.
Like I don't think they're gonna get the vibe that they're not gonna capture the vibe of the old Banjo-Kazooie stuff. But
I guess the question to me is like whether, like, is there that market for, like, you know, the Spyros, the Crashes, the Banjo, like those kind of mascots that like are great for like kid kind of entertainment? Like,
yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that they need to do, right? In terms of studios, they need to cross over some of this Activision Blizzard stuff over into the Microsoft IPs and get some of that sorted out. Like I've already talked about how like the teams that built, you know, the Outbreak and Call of Duty, Cold War, that would be perfect for fixing Redfall, you know, stuff like that. You know, there are things that these teams can do that they have talents that can cross over and make games. There's so many Activision developers that could totally do something with Banjo, but it's not going to be the same vibe. I mean, like, what did we love about Banjo back in the day? What if you were looking at Banjo-Kazooie, what was the thing that stood out? That would be
like, to me.
Yeah, to you.
To me, Banjo-Kazooie was the first game I ever played.
Yeah.
It was it's a nostalgia trip. It is a game with such brilliant level design, such colorful characters.
Yep.
such diversity in its worlds. Like I can't think of another game off the top of my head that has like that kind of classic feel of like, you know, just jumping into a painting and then being in like into a horror mansion or doing like a quiz game or
Yeah, like one of my favorite levels is like the mechanical whale or something that was stuck in
the mechanical
like
whale. There's
yeah.
the Egyptian kind of
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
planes, and they're just like very like clever, cute, like things that appeal to kids. I would
Hmm.
say.
Hmm.
Um, Definitely something that I hold. Like I definitely love Banjo Kazooie over Banjo Tooie.
Yeah, I actually never played Banjo-Tooie, but I did really like how they had the crossover stuff where you could unlock in one stuff in one game, it unlocks stuff in the second one
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So that was very smart.
I'm yes, I'm like very curious to see whether anybody does bring it back, but yeah, I think Rare would have to really sign off into
Mm.
like the right team for it. But
Yeah, yeah, Toys for Bob, and you know they doing this Skylanders and stuff like that. You know,
I mean that's the thing. Like Banjo doesn't have to be. We don't have to see like even if it is a case of like we get like a new Killer Instinct game or something like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'd love to see Banjo as a DLC character or something. Like I wanna see our classic IP used in different fields. I love the fact that they've like implemented in Sea of Thieves, but Sea of Thieves is not a it's not a game that I enjoy.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
but yeah. Here's something that will wet your nose. Capcom has confirmed that more Resident Evil remakes are planned.
Yeah.
Um,
Actually, I think they talked about this a little bit, didn't they?
yeah.
Mm.
So they've done 2, 3, and 4 in the last 5 years.
Yep. Yep.
And during an awards event in Japan on Friday, Resident Evil 4 remake director was asked if Capcom wanted to add more to these remakes. Yes, we've released 3 remakes so far, and they've been very well received. Since it allows a modern audience to play these games, it is something I'm happy to do as someone that loves these older games, and we want to continue doing more.
Mm.
What game we will remake in the future is something that we would like to announce in the future, so please look forward to it. I wonder
So,
what the
what are your
next.
thoughts?
Oh, they're gonna make 5. 5 is gonna be
Oh,
next, right?
100%. Like if they can do the mainline games and then just rack in
I
the money from it, then why wouldn't they just see the best thing about what they're doing with the remakes is they're basically fixing the lore.
yeah.
They're tying everything together, making everything work, which is
I
amazing.
I would like a remake of the first one, but I just want something that like without the tanky kind of controls. I'd be very
Oh,
curious to
okay.
see like what they could do
Mm.
with a remake of the first.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean, my ultimately, I want to see Outbreak 1 and 2.
yeah,
Not anywhere near enough people play that. I have both of those games, but whenever I put my PS2 on the Samsung TV, it never had brightness enough for me to actually play it properly. It was always way, way too dark. So I haven't been able to play them properly because the Samsung TV is just terrible for their lighting. Yeah, so like Outbreak 1 and 2, um, they should also look. I mean, the side games that they've done are all really good, right? I really want the Umbrella Chronicles and the second one they did, the Dark Side Chronicles. I
mm,
think they did a PS3 light gun shooter for that. Now I know Xbox doesn't have VR, but I want that shit to come to VR too. Like PSVR, like
yeah.
they should have done that for the first PSVR. Like those games are just like gold mines for those things. So, but yeah, so or they could just try and fix some of the old stuff that there was a PS1 game called Resident Evil Survivor. That was really interesting. You wouldn't know what that game is, yeah?
Yeah.
Not familiar with it. So it was a first-person shooter, and you had the same kind of inventory stuff, but depending on the doors you went through would alternate the path of the story, and you'd end up in different areas by the end of the game.
Huh.
So it's like Resident Evil. So I guess in theory it wouldn't work if they're trying to streamline
Yeah,
all of
that's
the
that
lore.
that was gonna be my next question. Like if they're trying to
Yeah,
retcon some of the story, like
yeah. But yeah, if you started playing the game, you'd end up in different locations. You'd either end up in a sewer, or you'd end up in a lab, or you'd end up somewhere else. And by the end of the story, there'd be like some finality to it.
Yeah.
So and then you could it's the Resident Evil 3 thing where you play it over and over and over again. You get so much replayability because you're just trying to unlock all these different routes. So but yeah, I also never played is it Code Veronica? I really need to go back and do that one because that's like the true like last of the old style, I think. And I just never ever got to it. So, but yeah, great. I think the best thing about what they're doing, and I don't know if anyone else has really done it, but there is a little bit. There's another company that's doing it as well. So the fact that Capcom can have the old games exist and the new games exist, and you be able to see a contrast between what was before while still having both games on the market. They can sell both versions of the games, and people can get an idea. They can double, the cash that they're getting from having both of them there, and they're clearly different play styles. I just love having multiple versions of these same games done in a different style.
It is important. Like I guess the only thing that could be like better is like having, like the Halo Master Chief Collection where you could just go in between. I don't think there's going to be much difference there, but because you're going to have like two natively running like different titles, and I think it's going to be a bit too much for the system. But
you mean like switching between graphics and stuff?
Between the graphics.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, I think it is good that there is still access to that catalog and being able to that. Hopefully we can get some of those, even if it was just like basic ports of the older games.
They could do they could do a couple of collections and stuff like that of just like old. There was a Game Boy Color game where Barry Burton was on a ship, and I think the other game that we got on a ship was the first Revelations game. So like there are a couple of stories that are tied in that just never got linked to anything else. So
what was the next one? I guess the last news story we've got is sorry, Sigmo just put it in a comment. They've done enough, Rosie. Give me a Dino Crisis remake. Well, you got your you got your Exo Primal.
I want Dinos in Space again.
Dinos in Space.
Yep. That was an NTSC game. The third Dino Crisis game never officially never actually got released over here properly.
Yeah.
So so I think I had an original Xbox, and it I had to change it to like NTSC mode, and it bricked or something. Jeez. Like in some debug menu, So, so I got another one. So,
A final story is EA are closing down the servers of 7 Xbox games, which are F1 2011, F1 2011 Games That Went Live, 2012, 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
Race Stars, Micro Machines, and Madden NFL 20. So just heads up with them. Most of the release dates start March 21st, 2024, but there is Madden with April 15th, 2024.
Yeah, F1 2011 still needs the access pass to play the online too, by the way. So if you're not finding copies that actually have that old online pass that they used to do with their games, then you're screwed for trying to get online if you don't have that game already. So you can take your chances with secondhand copies and see where you go with it. But yeah, good luck.
They've already they're closing 8 of their servers as well this week, which I'll talk about when I've been talked about games we've been playing.
Yes.
Game Pass updates. So this month we'll go Clone Drone in the Danger Zone, Rise of the Tomb Raider, While the Iron's Hot, What Was the Aftermath, Goat Sim Free, Against the Storm, Tin Hearts, and Far Cry 6. Leaving, we have Chained Echoes, Opus Magnum, Potion Craft, and Rubber Bandits. Rubber Bandits was quite nice. I completely forgot to put it in my list of games that I've been playing, but
yeah, I just need to load that up. I don't know who it was, either Alex or Steven. Somebody hit me up one day just to go on, and because it was a little bit easier to do a couple of achievements with
a friend kind of thing.
With a friend, and I just never loaded the game. I have it installed ever since and just didn't load it up and finish it. I'm not going to buy the game. I'm definitely going to go back and do that like in the next couple of days. So,
All right, games that we've been playing. Let's crack into it. I'm surprised how long this game of the year discussion took us.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Okay, we've had a few gaming sessions this week, haven't we? Not the one I wanted to have, but we've had a few.
So, it's I don't know. Every time we seem to play, things take a little bit longer to do. Like Skate 3 is I guess surprise announcement. The game servers came up for whatever reason, for who knows how long, by the way. So anyone that wants to do Skate 3 online stuff, get on that. So we loaded up and did a bit of that together. I don't know, the game's easy enough to play. There's only one single player achievement, but then you're better off just going off in pairs and just doing it with two people, so that you're not, and like you have to be in like opposite teams to do the team stuff, to match up with the team stuff. Not too many randoms or anything like that, but
I think the most difficult thing out of the whole like getting the session going was just like uploading content, that kind of stuff. The servers are very finicky.
Creating a team was terrible. I had to go. You have to go through 3 different menus to make a team, and every single one, if it would just be like the page is not available, page is not available. Page is not available, and then you have to start the whole process again, and you get the second or third one in, and then
so not really much else to say on Skate 3. I didn't find the controls that bad. We knocked out the online for that. Splinter Cell Convention, we've been doing a little bit of co-op there, because the service of that will end on, I believe it was like January 24th next
year. Yeah, definitely. Now, most of the offline, pretty much everything is available to do offline and mostly solo. You can go in and do with a second controller on a lot of stuff as well. There's only like one actually online required one, which is basically like have a friend invite you into a game or something. But you definitely want to get a co-op buddy and do some of this stuff. It's just so much easier just to kind of have somebody else there. So
that was the other co-op thing. I've been doing quite a bit of co-op this week. So there was that. I started doing Dante's Inferno's trials. I got about half of them done, but then
how did that go?
I didn't get the achievement at the end of the day. I did as much of it as possible, but because I didn't have anybody I could rely on in my time zone, I was just like, I'm gonna get the 1-player ones done. I'm not gonna have enough time to do the 2-player.
Right. So have they shut that down already, or is it still?
No, Repshi got somebody in his time zone.
Okay, cool.
But we could only do it in the middle of my day, and because I have to work in that as well, it was just.
Okay. Yeah. Have you got many of the co-op 2-player trials left, or?
I think the co-op ones probably have like 8 or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's at least half of them.
And then 1-player ones are probably have like 3. 3 or 4. I just basically went like, there's not much more point putting any more time into it over like a 10G achievement. I'm probably just going to do the main story and then just move on. I don't like achievements too that like require massive time sinks. I'm not a big fan of that one, but been getting into the game a little bit more. I'm probably just going to do the story and then just complete as much as I can without that one achievement. Tell me a little bit about the Resident Evil 7 DLC. I saw you playing in VR the other day.
Yes, so it is one of the stream games that I had. So basically, earlier on in the year, I did the main story. Basically, I mean, Resident Evil 7's on both platforms, right? So in VR, like the DLC, I've never actually played. So now that I've completed the main story, I think it was back in June or July, I'm like, right, I need to get this set up for streaming and do it again. So the DLC is so paired up to VR, it's not funny. Like the amount of things that you can do in VR with Resident Evil. There's two modes you can't do. It's the 55th birthday, I think, for Jack, and another one. Ethan Must Die, I think. Can't be. The like mini games that can't be played in VR.
Okay.
So I went through the banned footage stuff, and
Yeah.
the first banned footage mode was all about escaping. You had to survive like 6 hours till morning, basically, and just fight off some waves. I didn't actually get through that. I never managed to actually finish that mode, but I got close to the end. The very end of my stream, I went back and kind of did some of that, and I got real close. But the the mode 21, you're basically just sitting at a blackjack table, and you're versing another character. You don't know who they are, and they're saying, "Oh, I can't wait to go home to my family. I really need to get out of here." I wasn't expecting what I what I saw from this. So basically, you start playing blackjack. I'm like, "Oh, it's going to be some shitty card game," but it turned out to be something that was actually really good. So because it's got saw mechanics where basically you've got traps on your fingers, and every round you lose, your fingers just slowly get chopped off if you lose, and you see the other person, their fingers get chopped off if they lose. And then I got through and I won all the rounds. I'm like, right, okay, cool, we're done. And then because you think the other character's dead, and then they come back to life, and then you're just like, oh well, let's go again, and you get a different trap. And I'm like, it just looks so nice to play it in VR, just sitting there in a stationary position, and you can see just this saw trap happening in front of you as you're interacting with it. I did manage to get through the mode. I think it took about an hour all up. I had to retry once, but you get a checkpoint after each trap type. So there are 3 different traps all up, but the story in that is really, really good too. And there was another VR mode as well I did. It was a bedroom, which was, I think, the actual second DLC. I think 21 was like the third. Because the banned footage is broken into Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Yep.
It wasn't really clear what was part of what, but I think it was the first mode that I talked about, and then bedroom, which you're sitting in a bed and you have to work out how to get. It's basically like an escape room experience. You have to work out based on things that are in the room how to get out. And then if a character comes back and talk to you, if you make a noise or something, they're like, "What's that?" And they come back and they say you have to be back in the bed, and everything has to be as it is for you to actually, or you end up in trouble, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So that I got right through to the end of it, but I had to find. There was a note that said, "There's this character, just pulled a knife out of nowhere. Oh, it's funny how they hide it in things. Then there could be other knives hidden around the room somewhere, and I could not find it for the life of me. I looked for like 20 minutes on stream trying to find this knife. I had to leave after that point and turned off the stream, and then I'm like, oh, it's behind this table in this corner. You had to get the VR headset and look into the side and get real in deep behind a table to actually see it from the perspective. But yeah, it is just really nice. Like, the VR just works so well with this, and like the fact that Resident Evil Village got top in the VR category for the Game Awards. These Resident Evil games just play into that so well. It's so atmospheric. It's just an amazing experience to do it in VR. It is the first time I played Resident Evil 7 at all, and I'm just glad I did it that way. So
I wish we had like a VR component to the Xbox, but I don't think it's a world Microsoft's ready to explore.
Yeah, they've got the Windows Media AR reality thing that they had. But yeah, so other than that, but yeah, they probably won't do it at all. They don't need to. Yeah. But yeah, that's basically it. I don't think I had any other modes that I looked at with that. So
yep. Portal 2, I'll quickly mention. I've been doing a little bit of that with Stubby. Got through most of the online multiplayer now. Yeah, I mean, pretty simple. You put down a portal, you put down another portal, you use it to solve puzzles. But yeah, we've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm gonna try and get the story done. other than that, I went back and I finished off the last 2 achievements I needed for RoboQuest.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess early spoilers for the game of the year next week. This is probably in my top 5. It is very similar to Gunfire Reborn, though Gunfire Reborn has a lot less verticality than this game. Like you've got like jetpack kind of, you got grappling hook, this kind of stuff in that in RoboQuest.
Mm-hmm.
So I had 2 achievements that I had to get done, which was 3 achievements. Completing rank 4, completing rank 4 with S rank, and getting a Wonka bar. And Wonka bar is a 25% chance of giving you 20 power cells for your run. And typically it's like a 6. To get like a nice perk is like a 6 power cell kind of cost. So you spend 6 on the Wonka bar, you either 20 or you get 0. So I was using somebody from the RoboQuest Discord to get this done. We both went through with Cryo Engineer with a few drones, so we were freezing everything, and then he taught me the tip of using a particular upgrade called Mark. And Mark does double damage if you both have Mark. So we were basically focusing enemies one at a time. Did it that way. Now, every single time that I've tried to do this solo, I would always get wiped at Iris because it just does way too much. Like very end boss of the game. 40 minutes into run.
So is that you both have to mark the same guy?
No. You can you mark it separately. So somebody can have an enemy marked, but you can kill them and still do double damage.
So it's like okay.
But yeah, tried that build. That worked out a lot better. But then you have a cryo suit which can do extra defense, and that when you're doing rank 4, it's like extra 50% enemy damage to you. There's much more enemies. At the same time, you're going to be like meeting the time of the course, as well as killing enough enemies to get S rank, which is basically everybody in a particular level. Because it's a roguelite, it's very basic starting off, but then as you progress, there's certain crystals that will like do certain effects at the end game. There's certain gadgets you can unlock that like impact your gameplay. Like it's a very well done game. They got nominated for an audio design award, which the music is spectacular in this game. It's very got like that heart pumping kind of like this is the rhythm kind of impact.
Yeah, you said that I would really like the game, so I should download it.
Anybody that's played Gunfire Reborn in Game Pass last year, this would be totally up their alley.
Can you grind this out by yourself, like if you really, really had to? Or
no, because there are a few multiplayer achievements, but the hardest achievements don't have to be multiplayer.
Okay.
I think it's easier. So you can revive a teammate, but that takes half of your battery essentially because you're a robot. So if you had 200 health, you're basically giving half that health to revive.
That's
that
cool.
other person. I really liked it. It honestly surprised me. It's very cleverly done. I streamed last Saturday in the morning, and I was just like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm going to set up a stream. If I can get this done before the Lolly Arcade in my town closes, I'm going to go and get myself a Wonka bar. To treat myself, because obviously Wonka bar in the game.
I was looking at Wonka bars today. So it was just like we were at a boutique candy shop.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
So I'm just like, all right, I'll do this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how many Wonka bars I had to purchase in game before I got the fucking achievement? 25% chance. How many?
25.
No, it did not take me 25. Okay, this is like the
25% chance is 25% chance every time. That doesn't mean you're going to get it in one of 4 Wonka bars.
Okay, so this is the RNG of the thing. Yeah, you've got to get to a point where first will it come up in the selection, and then you've got to do the RNG of purchasing it and trying to get the 20 power cells.
Yep.
It took me, I would probably say like. I kept on restarting runs to try and get better on the RNG. Mm-hmm. It took me 8 attempts when I had found a Wonka bar. And on the 8th one, it finally unlocked. And that took me 2 hours of just grinding specifically for this one fucking RNG achievement. So I was quite annoyed by the end of it. And
That's
then,
alright. It's no underwear in Borderlands 2, so...
Yeah. So at the end of it, I'm just like, all right, cool. I deserve a Wonka bar, but I've been caught out before. I bet you they're not in stock. So I gave the Lolly Arcade a call, and I'm just like, hey, look, are you guys selling Wonka bars at the moment? Like, the movie's coming out and that. I'd love to get a Wonka bar. I don't think they're actually making them at the moment because of the movie, is what I got told.
Well, as I said, I saw Wonka bars today. So.
Yeah. So I'm very disappointed that you just told me that before, because now I really want a Wonka bar. I'm just gonna have to get some generic chocolate bar.
I know what somebody's getting for Christmas.
Just get a Wonka bar in the room. It's like, it's all melted.
It may or may not be melted.
But yeah, like RoboQuest was actually like it was a really fun time. It was like one of those like one more run and then you've spent 5 hours trying to go for one achievement kind of games. But like it had that like Gunfire Reborn kind of element to it. Really enjoyed it. The other one I want to quickly get off my chest is Mirror's Edge Catalyst, also having a shutdown which will affect 2 achievements, creating a time trial and beating a time trial, I believe. So I think I'd started this game and done like one mission or so and then just put it to the side. I basically played this entire game in a weekend. I've still got to do like all the time trial achievements and that kind of stuff, but I got to the point in the story where the time trial unlocks, and then just outside the base I did like, quick walking pace, set up a time trial, went back through my own one and then ran through and then got both achievements.
Yeah.
And then I kept on playing the story. I really I really enjoy the movement in this game. Like obviously being parkour.
Yeah. But when Matt and I started that, as soon as they did the announcement, we both raved about the game for the week.
It's very enjoyable. The problem I have with the game is I got to the last level and prior to this point, I had not a single issue. Like other than maybe like some weird frame rate drops here and there, like nothing major yet. This last level, I've never seen anything more broken in my life. I'm talking audio desyncs. I'm talking you walking in an environment and then if you're in one angle, everything goes black and then it's just the UI over. I'm talking like falling through the plane. I'm talking about random game crash. I'm talking the whole 9 yards. And I was really like, I got so like this was like a very strong 8, 9 out of 10 to me. Until I get to this last level, and it just completely ruined the experience because I wanted to get it done. I wanted to see the ending. The only problem I had with the ending outside of like the outside of all the issues is like I guess not having enough of a clear path at the very end when you're jumping onto the blimp. I was very confused as to where you were meant to go after that, not realizing that was a cushion directly below me to jump onto. So I did like that 2 or 3 times, and I was like, I don't know what I'm meant to be doing. I quickly left the video. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I'm a dumbass. But I don't get why this last mission in particular is just so broken. And then after it, like, the only other issue I had was like one achievement not working, but then there's chapter select, so I went back and did that. Quickly cleaned that up, and now it's just doing like all the time trials and all the miscellaneous stuff. And God's sakes, there's a lot of collectibles in this game.
I'm looking forward to enjoying that. Yeah,
I mean, it's an enjoyable game, but I just want the game to work. Like, there's fights with some of the enforcer characters, and I just like I'll be in mid battle and just the screen will go black, and I'll just have UI and just All right, I'm fighting in the dark here. I don't know what I'm meant to be doing, but yeah, I mean it is what it is. I'm just like I want to go back and finish it off. You know when a game's like that good, but then there's like a lot of bugs in the way that you're like, oh, wait a few months for it to be fixed. And
Yeah,
like,
well, that's not happening now.
That's not happening.
It's not happening. The game is what it is. So
All right, tell me about Limbo.
So, I have been wanting to get back to Limbo for a bit, and I wanted to do it just before it left Game Pass last time. And this is the stream game that I did from the week before, and I'm like, right, for less than 5 deaths run on stream, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And I tried to stream using. I made the silly mistake of trying to stream from the same computer as what I'm playing with, and I'm just using a Surface Pro 8, and it's okay, but it uses a lot of resources. The problem with the Windows Store version of Limbo is that you can't minimize it, and you can't put it on whatever screen you want. I had to make sure it was on the right screen and do all that kind of stuff. So in the end, I ended up not using the PC version. I ended up loading up my PlayStation 5 and using the PS4 version, and then doing it on that. And then, so that was my stream version of the game, where I basically, I did one full run on a day and got all the collectibles and stuff like that. And then the next day I came back and I'm like, right, well, this is going to be the less than 5 death run. And I went through and did that in 1.5 playthroughs, which is awesome.
Nice.
So, yeah, so that was a good, played this game so many times, I'm glad I can still play it, relatively well. And then I went back and I've only got the less than 5 deaths run on the Windows version, which I'm just playing through now as well. So I'll go back and do that before I.
So doing it all once fresh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're just going through and doing it again. So I'll do both versions, and that's the Windows one is the one I'm tidying up. So, yeah.
Cool. Tell me about Hitman 3. So
I'm at the end of Hitman 3. So I had to look at the DLC for this a couple of weeks back because of you had to get it separately. Basically, it was the only thing that was part of this Game Pass thing that wasn't included. You only get the Hitman 2 base game, and then you had to look at the DLC, which is included with that as well. So now I've tidied up everything except for getting level 20 on every level. So I've done. I've got 2 levels left in Hitman 3, and then I just need to work through Hitman 1 and Hitman 2 again, and tidy those up as well. So it's good. This was one of the games that was on my. I have to finish it before it was my one of my 3 games to finish by the end of the year. The other one I've got left over is Quantum Break, and then I've got dregs from the last year where I finished The Witcher 3, but then I had to do the DLC, which is like, these are my 3 games. Maybe I'll do The Witcher, but yeah. So I'm gonna have this tidied up because it may or may not be on Game Pass. Much longer. It's been on there for quite a while now, so I need to get it tidied up. So that's my goal. Hopefully,
I believe it was a Jan edition as well.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so like TA was saying on their new reports that it could be on like one of the lists because they go do like the 6 months, 12 months, 24 months kind of list of games, and it was definitely on there as like this could leave. But yeah, so I pretty much just left it on, during the day, and then just done my jobs, and then kind of come back and done a little bit of the levels. But like the great thing about these levels is if you know the levels, you just get to the end of them. And then you either you make a save just before you kill the characters, and then maybe just one just after you kill the characters that you targets, and then you can roll around and do everything else in one playthrough, and then come back and just do the dregs of 1 or 2 things where you had to kill things in a different way, and you finish the levels. I mean, you might spend a couple of hours maybe in one mission. I'm just doing it over the course of a whole day because I'm getting up and going and doing other jobs and stuff like that. It's taking a little bit longer. So. But yeah, I'm really glad to be at the end of that. But that's pretty much everything I've been playing. So,
the last one that
do you have anything left that you?
Yeah, I'll quickly mention the last one I've been playing. So, Rollerdrome is essentially Tony Hawk meets. Actually, it's Tony Hawk with guns. So this is an incredibly
I saw you playing this, and I'm like, why are you?
Yeah, this is an incredibly simple indie. So it's essentially do tricks, kill enemies, but then like the big thing is like it's very reminiscent of the earliest Tony Hawk games where you like collect a combo or like collect skate. So this one will have like collect 5 tokens, but the tokens will give you 3,000 points. But like I'm going through blood levels at the moment, which are complete the level with like one combo. There is accessibility options for this game, but this game is also sitting on an 8 point. Actually, it might be under an 8 now in terms of ratio. But like,
So okay.
So this game.
So I mean, if you're selling it to me as Tony Hawk, then it's not bad.
Difficult, but it's not like this. This would be a lot of TA. Very quickly. So I'm at 610 at the moment, and I've got 2,924 TA. I'm missing 4 achievements, which is complete 100% of the challenges in the main campaign. Perform a single combo worth more than 3 million, which is very hard to get going. Finish every match in an Alpha Blood campaign and complete 100% of the Alpha Blood campaign. So I'm going to try my very best to like. I think the main campaign challenges might be a little bit more difficult, but I haven't seen the end of the Blood campaign. But yeah, it's just incredibly simple. Kill an enemy to add like to your combo, but then do so if you do tricks, it adds to your score. If you kill an enemy, it adds to both your score and the multiplier. So it's just getting the highest multiplier you can to get the highest score, and then essentially go for that. Like I'm being able to manage 2 million pretty easy, but like 2.5 it kind of trails off. Makes it a lot harder.
Okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much the last one I've been playing. It's in Game Pass at the moment. 87 people have completed it. It's got a 10 to 12 hour estimate. I think you can apparently get it done in like 7 to 8.
Okay, that's still pretty low. Yeah.
It's
not a long game.
It's a very skill dependent game, but it has the accessibility options to carry the score.
Okay, cool. Yep.
All right, quickly. I will quickly go through the leaderboard. So in third place we had Mad Eye Pad Eye with 14,513. Second place we had Mad Mike Forever with 19,085. In first place we had Fresh Forever with 19,375. Just narrowly beating Mike.
Good to see some oldies on there.
Yeah.
You kind of creeping around. So.
Do you want to go through the completion shoutouts?
I will. All right. So completion shoutouts. Rapture finished Baby Games plus Dante's Inferno. So good one.
A lot of finding cats. Yeah. A lot of finding cats in different plots.
Yeah. Bulbasaur did Garo, Mark of the Wolves. Firehawk did Fallout 76. He got his 4,000 day streak, and Metro 2033 JP edition, which he never wants to see again.
Yep.
Jake did Potion Craft. That's a good completion as well. Shadow Sly. Did Warface Breakout, which is another one that's delisted now, is it?
I believe delisted or server shut down.
Yeah, it should still have its servers going, but it is shutting down, I believe, at least. Because that was a Games with Gold one, I think, that I was thinking about looking at. I think.
I don't think
Anubis did Warface Breakout as well. Alpha D Pills did Paw Patrol. Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay. He did They did Cooking Sim. The Adventures of
Elena. I've misspelled it.
Elena. Oh, okay. Elena Temple. I was going to go for that one. I was going to try and work out your spelling and pronounce it. But Mikkel KV did Ark. Invaded Tedious did Castle Crashers Remaster. Moonzom did Dead Space, and Left 4 Legacy did Walking Dead Destinies. So that must be the first Destinies on the server that's done. So nice one.
Yeah.
That's it for completions.
Okay, everybody. Actually, yeah. Word challenge. I haven't come up with a clue this week. What was my clue last week?
Oh,
not an Xbox file.
You were spooking yourself in terms of like getting, making up the clue. This like
Yeah.
It's your challenge.
Yeah.
It's your challenge. What are you doing?
This is my challenge. Yeah. So last week, clue was this is not an Xbox title.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
And now here we go. Podcast first. He's thinking of one on the fly. Everybody. Yeah. So get ready for an easy win here. If you're listening to the podcast, he's going to spoil it. He's the man that spoils things. He will wreck it for us and make it easy for you. So
this game is a creative game.
Okay. There you have it. It's a creative game.
Yeah, that is your clue for this week. This game is a creative game, and it is not an Xbox game. All right, cool. All right. Let's jump into Patreon. So, Patreons we have Lee Howard, Mikhail KV, Natalator, Mad Lefty, 2970. Oh, wait, no, 2097. Admiral Awesome, Happy Moogles, Kung Fu Skills, Hack and Prone, Cavalier 07. Of McLeod, Mark B, McLovin Legend, Massage, Left the Legacy, and McNulty. Thank you guys. Without your support, we would not be able to run the podcast. Quick shout out for Discord. It's where we usually get together and chat. Come join the Discord.
Also, where you can find the Hog Challenge.
Yeah, you can find the Hog Challenge to potentially win some money. Set up boosting sessions, get to talk to us, ask us questions. And then,
there's an exclusive Patreon channel as well, I believe.
Yep.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Watch Game Awards with us, so forth. Mm-hmm. Also, we've been live on Twitch at Xbox Hall of Gamers. Come watch us live Friday nights. Otherwise catch up with us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the usual jazz.
Yeah, if Matt can pull the recording from the Twitch this week.
That's it. If you want to contact us, you can contact us on Twitter at Hall of Gamers Pod, or you can reach out to us by email at hallofgamerspodcast@gmail.com. You can help out the podcast by subscribing on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, etc. You can leave a review, tell your friends, retweet our tweets. Be very aggressive in a boosting session that people need to listen to this episode. You can write your questions in the show in the Discord, and we will endeavor to answer them in the next episode. Keo, if people want to reach out to you, where can they reach you?
Yes, well, you can find me on Twitch at Keo Live at Home. You can find the notifications for my streams when I actually put up the notifications on Twitter. You can find the VODs for the recordings and some other videos on my YouTube channel, which is HTFG Play on YouTube. And I also now have an Instagram. So I've only just dipped my my little toes in the Instagram.
You're giving me such old man energy. Old man yells at clouds energy.
I know. Yeah. Like it's funny because it was with my wife, we were trying to find the details of a tattooist, and the only place that they do their bookings is through Instagram, and that's where all their pictures are. So I'm like, one of us is going to have to make an Instagram account. So I made one for the channel. I didn't make a personal one. Yeah. And then my wife made an Instagram account, and then just got over it very, very quickly. Yeah. But now I have an Instagram account, and it's okay. I'm going to be posting different stuff on there. My latest one is basically a new perspective of my stream, where I have on my YouTube channel the full screen, like for my VR and stuff like that. But I've started testing having like the mobile version, which will have like my face camera and then the stream underneath it and stuff like that. So I'll play around with a few things, and so follow me on Instagram. It's Keo Live at Home. Yeah, that's it. Where are you? Where are you located, Mr. Shadowless AU?
I'm Shadowless AU. I don't know if I won't do any Twitch this weekend, but I'm in the process of preparing myself for moving. So I'm probably going to give myself a little bit of a break from streaming and that. I'll continue to do the podcast. But yeah, if you want to catch up with me, just reach out in the Discord or TA, Shadowless AU. And otherwise, this is episode 104 of the Xbox Hall of Gamers podcast. We'll see you next week for our Game of the Year extraordinaire episode. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have a game review discussion. Catch you all later, guys. Bye.
All right, peace out. See ya.